Okay, now we're going to do one of the final things on this car, which is repairing the clear coat. Now this will be the first time that I'm doing this, so I'm a bit nervous. Well, can't delay this any longer. Let's start. And now that we've done the third clear coat, you can see that I'm afraid to say that it hasn't been improved that much. Bit of an understatement there. The problem was that I didn't properly sand down the parts that still had clear coat on them. You can see that the bits that were sanded down properly got improved. So it's sort of an inverted after effect when I was done. And this will be the end result for now. The buffing of the headlights went a bit better, using 600, 1200 and 2000 grit sandpaper to clean up the sun damage. For first timers I would suggest looking up a video on how to move the sandpaper and just try it out. You can't do that much damage if you stick with the right amount of grit. I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye to our little red Alfa Romeo. I've owned it 4 or 5 months. There have been lots of joys and a couple of worries, but not as much as there could have been. It really has been a joyous experience driving this little red machine. And today I'm going to talk you all about the things that I will miss and that I won't miss about this 156. The redeeming features are, of course, first, second and third, it's a red Alfa Romeo. I cannot stress that enough, how much that meant to me. Even though the paint had seen better days, I really couldn't care, simply because it is a red Alfa Romeo. Something else that will stay with me was the way it drove. It wasn't only very sporty, but the suspension and the way it's set up also made it very comfortable, which I didn't really expect at first, but it's probably the most comfortable car I've ever had. And here's something all unreliable brands should have, although I'm not saying that Alfa Romeo is an unreliable brand, but you know, it has its doubters, is these gas struts holding up the bonnet. I really don't know why every car doesn't have one. I mean, it's incredibly convenient, but in true Italian fashion, they've also made it very dangerous, because the car now has one loose tooth that I can tell you from experience is very sharp. What I liked about the interior was that all the dials were very easy to read. Like I said in a previous video, they were geared towards the driver, which I still think is a very strange idea, but it worked for me. Secondly, the seats, they were very comfortable, way more comfortable than I first imagined, even though they are sporting seats. And of course, one of my favorite things I almost forgot was the attention to detail in making sure that you know that this is an Alfa Romeo. The only thing that annoyed me of the interior was the center console. The carbon fiber look really is a missed opportunity to give it some color in the interior. It is mostly black, and a dash of red really would have helped to make this interior stand out. The luxury version of this car isn't really that much better, since it has a plastic wooden look. So a missed opportunity for Alfa Romeo there. Also, this annoying thing has also caused me some irritations, because before starting the car you had to put this bit in for not just 1 but 2 seconds before you could start the car. And seeing as I'm not a very patient man, I just put it in there and I thought, okay, let's go. And it wouldn't start, so I had to do it again. Put it in. And finally, after 10 seconds or so, it finally started up and you could go. Another thing that I won't miss, the gas mileage. If I'm honest, in Europe we're pretty much spoiled with cars that do 16, 17, 18 kilometers a liter, but this one, the maximum I could do was about 13, and most of the time it was around 10. But would I recommend this car to anyone else? I probably would. You have to be a bit of a car nut to appreciate it. I mean, it isn't the most practical, it isn't the most fuel friendly, but it's still quite a precious thing to own. Even though it is less than €1,000, my mind repeatedly told me that it should have been worth a lot more than it is. And it's just something special. I mean, if you compare it to all the Peugeots and Nissans and Opels and Volkswagens, this just stands out a little bit. As a sedan, for less than €1,000, you can get a more luxurious one, you can get a more eco-friendly one, but I'm highly doubtful that you can get a more special one.